Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine walking into like a sleek glass-walled boardroom, right? You plug your laptop into the wall and boom, instantly there's a flawless 4K presentation on a display that's, I don't know, 130 feet away.
Yeah, and no fumbling with input remotes or dealing with those awful flickering black screens.
Exactly. And definitely no bulky power bricks lying around either.
Mhm.
So today we are doing a custom-tailored deep dive into a spec sheet from HDTV Supply. We're looking at the Kramer WP-211T 4K60 HDMI wall plate auto switcher.
Which is, I mean, quite a mouthful, I know. But
Right.
it really is the hidden hero of seamless modern video setups.
Right, so our mission here is to translate all this dense AV jargon. Like instead of seeing this thing as just a boring metal box, I want you to think of it as an incredibly smart, invisible traffic cop for your 4K video signals.
That's a great way to look at it. Because what's fascinating here is how it directs that high-speed video traffic without needing, any human intervention at all.
Right, the auto switching part.
Exactly. It relies on this plug-and-play auto-switching logic. Instead of someone manually pushing a button for an input, the device actively monitors the voltage of the incoming video signals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the moment it detects a live source, it executes a routing decision based on pre-programmed logic. So it either prioritizes a specific port, like a primary lectern, or it just defaults to whatever was connected last.
So it's actively policing the traffic at the hardware level? But the transmission distances are what really jump out at me, like pushing a 4K 60 signal up to 40 meters or 130 feet through a wall.
Yeah, and standard 1080p up to 70 meters, which is around 230 feet.
That just sounds like a recipe for resolution glitches, honestly. Sending a massive 4K signal that far through standard twisted pair copper wire, like pushing uncompressed high bandwidth HDMI over standard Cat6, usually results in massive signal degradation. How does it not just confuse the display screen on the other end?
Well, it all comes down to the HD-based Siri architecture. Rather than trying to just, force a raw native HDMI stream down a copper cable, the unit essentially repackages the data.
Okay. It uses something called pulse amplitude modulation, specifically PAM16. This encoding technique actually crams multiple bits of data into a single electrical pulse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's how it pushes that ultra-high bandwidth of 4K video, plus the audio and control signals over standard Ethernet cabling without dropping frames.
I mean, that makes sense for the video payload, but introducing that kind of encoding process over a 130-foot run, that sounds like a total nightmare for device handshaking.
Oh, sure.
Because usually when a display goes to sleep or you hot swap a laptop, that momentary drop causes the operating system to completely resize your desktop, or you just lose the display entirely.
Right, and that is the exact problem Kramer addresses with their IED Pro algorithm. So instead of just passing the ED data back and forth and hoping the source and display stay synced, this device actually caches the ED locally in non-volatile memory.
Ah, wait, I see. So the laptop always thinks it's plugged directly into an active ready display, regardless of what's happening on the other side of the room. Precisely. The wall plate artificially maintains that handshake.
Yeah.
And it's also managing the HDCP 2.2 encryption keys simultaneously.
Right, so no frustrating handshake delays for the end user.
Exactly. It keeps the encrypted tunnel secure right there at the wall.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Caching ED, managing HDCP encryption, and coding 4K video into PAM16 pulses. I mean, that requires serious active silicon.
Yep, it does.
And active logic chips need power.
Yeah.
But looking at the schematics, this thing fits neatly into a standard one-gang US, EU, or UK in-wall electrical box. There is literally no room for a bulky local AC adapter.
Right, and pulling dedicated AC power to every single wall plate completely ruins the cost efficiency of the install anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why it relies entirely on power over Ethernet or PoE. It draws a maximum of 9 watts directly from a remote PoE matrix switch. So the exact same copper wire carrying that massive 4K video payload is also delivering the DC power required to run the unit.
Which means electricians aren't running high-voltage lines just to power a switcher. You run a single Cat6 cable, and you've got studio-grade AV.
Yeah, it drastically reduces installation costs and eliminates all that cable clutter.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Basically, you get studio-grade AV, including up to 32 channels of uncompressed audio, like full object-based spatial audio, right alongside the 4K video. And it's all elegantly hidden in your wall for $572.
It really proves a core philosophy in modern system architecture. The ultimate goal of hardware engineering is to make the hardware itself disappear.
Right.
When the routing, the power delivery, and the signal processing are this efficient, the user interacts purely with their content, not the room.
Absolutely. Which brings up a wild thought to leave you with. If a simple little wall plate is now smart enough to auto-negotiate 4K video, 32-channel audio, and draw its own power over a single Ethernet cable, how long until the walls themselves become the entire AV interface? We're rapidly approaching a future where traditional, standalone hardware is completely obsolete, just replaced by invisible nodes hiding right there in the architecture.